For about 100 years, humans got smarter every single decade, like clockwork. IQ scores went up and up and up. Scientists had a name for it, the Flynn effect. And then, around the 1990s, it stopped. In some countries, it started going backwards. That's right, by some measures, humans are getting dumber, and it lines up suspiciously well with the moment we all got a supercomputer in our pockets. So what happened? Did phones break our brains? Are we cooked? Or is dumb not even the right word? Let's find out, assuming I can still hold your attention for 8 whole minutes. Okay, let's rewind. For most of the 20th century, humanity was on an absolute heater. A researcher named James Flynn noticed that IQ scores were rising about 3 points every decade, all over the world. So consistently, the test makers had to keep making the tests harder to keep the average at 100. Which means, technically, if you took an IQ test from 1910 today, you'd score like a genius. And if someone from 1910 took a modern one, they'd score not great. Why the rise? Better nutrition, so brains actually finish developing, less disease-stealing childhood energy, more schooling, and, this is the big one, the world got more abstrang. Your great-great-grandparents thought in concrete terms. Ask them, what do a fish and a bird have in common? And they'd say, nothing. You can't ride a fish to church. Modern schooling trained us to answer, they're both animals. Categories, abstractions, hypotheticals. That's a huge chunk of what IQ tests actually measure. So we didn't necessarily get wiser, we got better at thinking like a test. Hold that thought, it's going to matter. And then the streak ended. Starting around the 1990s and into the 2000s, researchers in Norway, Denmark, Finland, the UK, France, a whole pile of wealthy countries, noticed IQ scores flattening and then dropping. The Norwegian study is the spooky one because they had test scores from basically every young man in the country for decades. Huge, clean data. And it showed the reversal happening within families. Younger brothers scoring lower than older brothers. Why does that matter? Because it kills the most comfortable excuse. It's not the wrong people are having kids, or genetics, or immigration. Same families, same genes, same dinner table. Something in the environment changed. Something happened to the world between the older kid and the younger kid. And I don't want to point fingers, but a rectangle that glows sure showed up right around then. Now, important honesty break. Scientists genuinely don't fully agree on why. This is a live debate, not settled fact, but there are some very juicy suspects. Let's put them on trial. Suspect number 1, your attention span and what we did to it. Here's the thing about deep thinking. It's slow. It's boring at first. It requires sitting with one hard idea long enough for it to unfold. It's a muscle. Now imagine a machine specifically engineered to interrupt you every 30 seconds with something more exciting. A machine that pays you in tiny hits of dopamine for not concentrating. We built that. We put it in our pockets. And we check it 144 times a day. Studies suggest the mere presence of your phone, face down, silent, not even on, measurably lowers your working memory and problem solving. Part of your brain is always whispering, but what if there's a notification? We didn't lose intelligence. We rented it out to a device that fragments it into confetti. It's like trying to read War and Peace while a toddler flips the lights on and off. Forever. Suspect number 2. The Great Brain Outsourcing. Quick test. What's your best friend's phone number? Yeah, 20 years ago you knew 50 numbers by heart. Now you know 1, and it's probably your childhood landline that no longer exists. This is called the Google effect. Your brain doesn't bother storing information it knows it can look up. Why memorize when the answer is one search away? And honestly, that's not stupid. That's efficient. Your brain is being a smart little manager, delegating tasks. But here's the catch. Knowledge isn't just trivia you retrieve. It's the raw material you think with. You can't connect dots you never stored. You can't have an insight in the shower about facts that live only on a server. We used to be hard drives. Now we're browsers with the facts stored in the cloud. And browsers, as you know, crash when you open too many tabs. We also outsourced navigation to GPS, and studies show heavy GPS users have measurably less activity in the hippocampus, the brain's map room. Use it or lose it isn't a slogan. It's neurology. Suspect number 3, and this is the sneaky one. Maybe we're not dumber. Maybe the test is measuring the wrong thing now. Remember how the Flynn effect rose partly because school trained us for abstract, categorical thinking? Well, the modern world stopped rewarding that as hard and started rewarding different skills. A teenager today might have a shorter attention span for a paragraph, but can edit video, manage 5 conversations at once, spot a fake in half a second, and navigate an information fire hose that would have given a 1950s office worker a nervous breakdown. That's not dumb. It's a different shape of smart. IQ tests measure a very specific slice of thinking, and if the slice they measure is going down while other skills go up, dumber is doing a lot of heavy lifting. The uncomfortable middle ground truth? Probably both are happening. We're gaining some abilities and genuinely losing others, especially the slow, deep, focused ones. We're trading depth for speed, and nobody signed a contract agreeing that was a good trade. Now let's talk about the thing you actually came here for, the brain fog. That feeling that you walk into a room and forget why, that you reread the same sentence 4 times, that your memory has the structural integrity of a wet paper towel. Some of this isn't really intelligence, it's conditions. We sleep worse, scrolling blue light until 1 a.m. Sleep is when the brain literally power washes itself. Skip it and the gunk stays. We're more chronically stressed, and stress hormones are famously wonderful for memory, if your goal is to not have one. We move less, we're lonelier, and remember, loneliness is a whole body stressor. And we live in a state of constant partial attention, never fully focused, never fully resting. The brain never gets to close its tabs, so of course it feels laggy. You're running 40 background apps on a brain designed to run 1. The good news buried in here? Almost none of this is permanent. The brain is plastic. It becomes what you repeatedly do, which is terrifying and hopeful. So, are we cooked? Honestly, no. But we are being shaped, whether we choose it or not. Here's the empowering part. The same plasticity that lets a phone sand down your attention span lets you build it back. Read one long thing. A real book, no scrolling. Boredom is where deep thinking lives. Stop killing it the instant it appears. Let yourself be bored in a line instead of reaching for the rectangle. Memorize something on purpose. A poem, directions, a phone number, just to keep the hard drive spinning. Protect your sleep like it's your intelligence, because it basically is. You don't have to throw your phone in the ocean. The tool isn't evil, it's just ruthlessly good at what it does, and what it does is eat focus. So use it on purpose instead of being used. Humans aren't getting dumber, exactly. We're getting distracted. And distraction, unlike genetics, is a choice you get to remake every single day.